So, I'm doing something crazy. I have never been on a cruise before, and now I'm boarding a cruise, a 27-day cruise from Seattle all the way down to Sydney, Australia. And not just any cruise, it's a Nomad Cruise. Over 200 of us who work remotely gathered together attending a month-long conference across the Pacific Ocean, and even makes you wake up your neighbor a few times a week. Visiting hard-to-reach island countries while working on our businesses on board. This is a month in the life of an unsuccessful remote tech founder living on a cruise ship. Stop. First things first, I'm boarding this gigantic vessel about to be home to over 3,000 people for a month. Now let's take a look at what my room looks like. I'm a little nervous because I'll be sharing a room with a total stranger. I'm in. I guess this is it. We have an inside cabin with no windows, and like my friends who have been on this ship before, they said, you can hold hands. That's indeed correct. And I guess we have closets here. Safe. And then the bathroom. Okay. Not bad, I would say. Oh God, but I feel like the bathroom has urine in there. Now it's time to take the elevator down to the opening ceremony of our conference. When I got in the elevator, I discovered a unique feature I've never seen anywhere else before. Oh, really? It changes?
Yeah, every day.
Oh my God, look! On this ship, they changed the carpet to tell you exactly what day it is. That's helpful. At the opening ceremony, I met a Croatian woman who is a Korean beauty enthusiast and speaks Mandarin Chinese fluently. What are the odds?
在台湾生活了9年，对，然后说中文很厉害，没有啊，是一点点而已。
And of course, it's always nice to meet the captain, even though the real one may actually be operating the ship. Captain! In the back! After a long day of settling in, we're finally back to our cabins. I was quickly surprised by the extra miles hospitality on the cruise. The housekeeping crew members remember our names immediately, and it turns out they do their job a little bit too well. So on the ship, the cleaning crew actually cleans our room twice a day, but we opted out. We said once a day is good enough. At night, they also give us chocolates every night, which is amazing. But the next morning, I had a rude awakening, literally, because for the first time in a very long time, I couldn't sleep at all the whole night. Last night was my first night on the ship, and it is rough because the boat was rocking the whole night. Luckily, my seasickness improved after a few nights of adjustment. I quickly realized that cruising has a learning curve because I didn't learn that we can actually get waiter service in a quieter, more upscale environment, all-inclusive, even for breakfast. But I was quickly disappointed because the food is basically the same, just presented in a nicer way, with much slower service wrapped in a bougie coat. All-inclusive catered meals 3 times a day is one of the best perks on a cruise, but if one wants breakfast with a view, it's extremely competitive. And surprisingly, breakfast time always comes with a catch. Finally got an ocean view at breakfast, which is really difficult because these tables are always occupied for good reasons. And also another thing, if you join a conference like Nomad Cruise or just with a bunch of people, it's really hard to be alone. So every day at breakfast, I came here alone, wanted to be alone, but always run into people. They always show up and very friendly. But yeah, if you want to have me time, the only possible place is in your room. But guess what? For me, the wish to be alone can never be granted on this cruise, including in my room, because, well, I'm sharing my room with a woman whom I've never met. So now let's meet my roommate, Tammy.
Hi, this is my roommate.
I'm Tammy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet everyone. So why are we dressed up on a ship, you might ask? This is strange because tonight we have a regular dinner, but they ask us to dress to the tens, which is kind of crazy because I really hope to show up in my pajamas, you know? It's just dinner.
It's so stressful.
You know what I mean?
Together with Tammy, we learned that on the cruise, there are strict dress codes in upscale restaurants. A few of our fellow attendees have been turned away because they were wearing shorts to a formal restaurant. You might wonder, where on earth is this cruise going to that requires a whole month at sea? Well, quite a few hard-to-reach Pacific islands. Can you guess where our first stop is with this performance on board? Yup, Hawaii. I have never been to Hawaii, but before we reach the 50th state of the United States, we have a whole week at sea. And that's when my first assignment on this conference happened. I'm supposed to teach a beginner bachata class series, as a recreational dancer myself. Although I've been dancing for 2 years and have gotten pretty comfortable at it, teaching is a whole nother game. I was so nervous I spent the entire week lesson planning and memorizing moves for just the warm-up, only to realize that the warm-up itself is too advanced for people who have never danced before, when the class actually happened. In the next couple of classes, I adjusted my teaching method and had a really nice time enjoying the magic of partner dance with my students in the most glorious sunset in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Our 1 week at sea passed by really quickly in the blink of an eye because we were busy working, learning at the conference, and dancing. And then we woke up one day.
After 7 days at sea, we're finally in Honolulu, Hawaii. Finally seeing land for the first time.
As soon as we arrived in Hawaii, we were welcomed with the traditional Hawaiian lei, which is a fresh flower wreath.
So, these flowers are not fake. They're actually fresh. Smells so good.
But some of us got a little too ambitious with the flowers.
Yuki had 4 flower crowns.
I
Why?
just had one.
We just have one. One is enough.
One is enough. We're selling ourselves instead of flowers.
As we head into town in Honolulu, I was thrilled to discover rainbows everywhere I turned. It's not even an exaggeration. They're literally everywhere. And oh so beautiful.
This rainbow is so beautiful. Rainbow spotted!
Besides the usual beaches, there's one thing I really wanted to see on the island of Oahu. The serene Japanese temple called Byodoin Temple, and the lush greenery along the way. I went with Julia, a friend I made on the cruise. We discovered that the number one thing tourists seem to enjoy doing is not praying, but ringing the giant gong. So we joined in as well.
Successfully became a gong-operated tourist.
Our stay in Honolulu was brief and peaceful, but it wouldn't be long before chaos found us when our ship moved over to the next island, Maui. Having just spent a few days in beach paradise, I didn't realize there's huge altitude variations in Hawaii, and we happened to be going to a mountain well over 3,000 meters or 10,000 feet above sea level, the famous Haleakala National Park. And I went wearing a mini skirt.
Basically, it's way too cold, even though the rest of Maui is very hot. So I just finished being sick for 4 weeks. I don't think I can do this again.
Luckily, long-term, full-time nomadic travelers like us from the Nomad Cruise are always resourceful. A fellow cruiser let me borrow her beach towel for temporary coverage so I could at least enjoy the scenery briefly. The consequences of not wearing enough. Wearing a beach towel. At the summit, I tried to dance the cold away, but that didn't last for long before the beach towel failed miserably against the cold air. Since I just recovered from a 1-month brutal cold right before the cruise, I decided to head back to the car. I'm rescued by our fellow cruisers with this microfiber beach towel, so I'm staying in because I can't afford to be sick for another month. While resting in the car, I spotted an intriguing plant, something that doesn't look like it can grow from this earth. It's an iridescent plant. So here in this area, there are a lot of these plants that look like shiny. It's really beautiful, and never seen this anywhere else. Frankly, before visiting Hawaii, I had no idea what to expect. I thought it's just beaches. But as we get to know more of the islands, especially Maui, I was stunned by its bio and natural landscapes diversity. After leaving the national park, we found ourselves by the beach again, but not alone this time. We got to see giant sea turtles sunbathing peacefully, up close. We're all sunbathing. I can't believe we got to see sea turtles as soon as we got here. They were just all here sunbathing. They look so comfortable. And we also randomly stumbled upon this gorgeous cliffside beach with all red soil. Soil is all red. On our last day in Hawaii, our ship was docked in the island of Kauai, and we unexpectedly learned a dirty little secret. Apparently, one can just stroll into a luxury resort and use their amenities, including this amazing infinity pool, even if one is not staying there, as long as you look like you might be. I'm pretty sure you have to stay here, but we are not guests. But here we are. Okay, so we're gonna sit here in this shaded area with a view. And then they have the pool over there. Nice. As our ship left Hawaii and continued on to our next country, we ran into a bit of an interesting confusion only travelers at sea crossing the entire Pacific Ocean experience. How to adjust our calendar properly when crossing the international dateline. Well, I failed miserably. Sea life update. We are crossing the international dateline on Tuesday, and I was so confused what it means. Basically, we skip a day, but I didn't know that, so I have 2 very important meetings scheduled on that day. So Tuesday is Wednesday, and Wednesday, which is Tuesday, we arrived in Samoa and only have 1 day there, and we have a group tour already booked. That's just lovely. What do I do now? The solution? I took a meeting while walking into the island country of Samoa and canceled the other one. My confusion actually didn't stop at the international dateline. I was also majorly confused by the 2 neighboring countries of Samoa and American Samoa, which caused a somewhat random visa mishap. We have arrived in Samoa, not American Samoa, Samoa. And earlier I made a mistake of applying for an entry permit for American Samoa. And they told me, you come from a cruise ship, you don't need it. And I said, can I have my $40 back? They said, no, but you can apply it to a future trip. And I said, when am I going to do that? So luckily, we don't need it, but we're in another island, literally next to it, which is Samoa. It's even more confusing after we got onto the tour bus because we were greeted immediately with a giant American flag. Is this Samoa or American Samoa? Meanwhile, our tour guide Bruce spared no time in getting down to business.
Anyways, my name's Bruce.
Hey, Bruce. Hi,
Bruce. Fatu's the driver. And we go first to the ATM?
Yes.
Yeah, we go first. Yeah, always.
After getting local cash from the ATM, we were ready to tour the island. Samoa just keeps getting more and more American as classic American songs keep appearing on the bus's radio. According to Bruce, apparently we're in dry season in Samoa.
What season are we now?
Yeah, with dry season.
This is dry.
Reality tells us otherwise, but in life, I guess everything is relative.
Caught in the rainstorm!
We arrived in a lush naturist preserve where we enjoyed a brief moment with all the greenery and a fascinating demonstration of coconut milk making by a local who is quick with a joke.
Coconut milk, right? We call it in Samoa pe'e. Now I want you to say it together with me. Pe'e. Pe'e. Someone said baby here. Who said that?
Wow! Oh my God!
That's one squeeze. Now this is fresh coconut cream.
He also taught us a powerful local chant.
Patsia, patsia, lua patsi. Mua mua. Whoa. Mua mua. Whoa.
Samoa is unlike any other country I've ever been to. It's not only about the greenery and lush landscape. It's also a country struggling with a lot of poverty, but I will never forget the people we met on the island.
People are so friendly because we're foreigners and came on a tour bus. Everyone, and I mean everyone in their home on the side of the streets are waving at us whenever they see us come through, which is kind of crazy. At first we thought it's just kids or a few curious people, but it's everyone.
Besides the non-stop waving friendly locals, we also noticed a unique feature on the island. Samoans have an open-air, elevated garbage disposal system unlike most other countries. And the main attraction on the island? A giant sinkhole.
Big hole. Wow.
Let's go change and swim in this hole.
We left Samoa with a heart full of gratitude and a few days later arrived in Fiji. Well, on lifeboats.
Going down to the lifeboats that will tender us to land because we have to park in the middle of the ocean. So we're on the lifeboat to go into town and we have no plans. Day one in Fiji, we stop at Savu Savu, which is a town that doesn't seem to have a lot. The ship can't even dock in a normal port, and we had to stop in the middle of the ocean and then take lifeboats. So today we just decided to walk around and then see a hot springs where supposedly they cook with it. And other than that, if you don't do water sports like snorkeling, there really isn't much to do. Okay, so the hot springs is right here. It's called Nakama Hot Springs. So here's coconut. And then that is the hot springs. Wow, it is really hot. Oh wow.
Holy shit.
That is boiling, no?
Yeah.
That's kind of amazing that it's actually boiling hot. I've only seen hot springs that are kind of minor hot. And this is like, yeah, something else. So in the introduction, it says because Fiji sits between two tectonic plates, and that makes sense. And there's apparently no more active volcanoes, which is good.
The next few days in Fiji was a lot more eventful for us, starting with narrowly escaping dengue fever in the jungle.
Please don't have dengue.
And fun hot springs mud bath that turned into an accidental honeymoon between me and Pam, a fellow cruiser.
I'm here at the mud pool to play tennis. So this is the mud.
Yes. And please no mud fight.
Okay. This is volcanic mud that we're plastering all over.
Now it's time to wash ourselves clean in the hot springs, but as soon as our feet touched the bare ground, we were taken by surprise. The ground was scorching hot, so much so that each step felt like stepping on needles. After the mud bath, it was time for lunch. That's when we met the cute grandson of our tour guide, who is already a grandfather at age 45.
And then we have a cute kid here.
And a souvenir lady who was trying to sell us a honeymoon plaque.
Let's do a heart. Yes, do a heart. Hold on. I just can't. I have to carry this shit.
So you tried this one?
The real highlight of our stay in Fiji came the next day when I was on a spontaneous trip to see a Fijian village, where I saw a famous local fire eater and got to dance with locals. As well as watching villagers perform their local music. But what I loved the most about my experience in Fiji is actually learning about the reality of local life and not the honeymoon resort fantasy that's constantly being sold to the rest of the world.
Bula means hi. Hi. Not welcome. What is welcome in?
Yeah, welcome is that's Bula too also. That's Bula, you welcome.
Bula is welcome too?
Welcome.
Welcome and hi?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, okay. Good to know. No, because the first day we were here, we heard Bula. We thought it's hola, like Spanish. We were like, why are they speaking Spanish? So I'm on the ship, and behind me is the port at Lautoka, Fiji. I do want to talk about the very little talked about issues. So all of these Pacific islands have beautiful resorts and pristine waters, and it looks so amazing on video and in the ads. But all of them, I would say, are actually very underdeveloped. So yesterday when we arrived, actually just at the back, over there, they're burning trash. And they're constantly burning something. It's either trash or sugar canes or something, which is very bad for the environment. But unfortunately, because they don't have any facility to treat those trash, just like many developing countries, that's what they have to do, which is horrible because we actually smelled burning and plastic in our cabin as we're docked here. And and besides these 5-star hotels, all of the houses look terribly run down and they're falling apart. People are very nice, very pure, but this is the reality. So when people post their vacation photos, it's usually from one of the beaches, one of the resorts, but it's not the reality of life. I found my amazing local Fijian guides by basically having no plans and no pre-booked excursions. As soon as our ship arrived at the port, I walked outside and spoke to some of these local tour agencies right on the spot. It's also new knowledge that I acquired on this cruise that there's no need to be stressed about pre-booking land excursions while on a cruise. Plenty of options available on the ground once you arrive. Basically, if you don't have any plans, don't have an excursion pre-booked, you can just go in front of the ship. They have all of these booths ready to take your business. If you don't want to plan ahead because it's kind of complex logistically, you never know what time you feel like going, especially some of the tours are really early. If you want to be more relaxed, the price is actually pretty much the same, sometimes even cheaper. So I actually recommend it, even though it looks kind of aggressive. Before we arrived in our final island destination, it was time for me to deliver my speech at the conference as a speaker. Has anyone left a relationship that's kind of okay? technically okay. Nothing is wrong with it. They're nice, very attractive, treats you well, makes good money, and even makes you wake up your neighbor a few times a week. Anyone? So that was me and my business. Not the waking up the neighbor part, unfortunately.
But the highlight of my speaking experience actually was behind the scene when our technician Foggy was having a little too much fun setting up the shot by being the test subject himself with some killer dance moves.
So 1.2. Can you come closer? Yeah. Okay, I think I might want to be here.
And just like that, our last island destination is upon us. It's a bit of an odd place to visit because it's a completely uninhabited island, and some people on a cruise even said that it looks smaller than our ship. It's called Mystery Island in the South Pacific country of Vanuatu. Like in Fiji, we had to take tender boats because our giant cruise ship simply couldn't dock too close to the island. But we were not just strolling around this mini island. We actually were here on a mission and quite short on time. We were supposed to take part in a group photo session for our conference. Here's my name twin, Dutch-German Stella from our cruise, who is an amazing NGO founder and also as lost and late as I was.
Stella and Stella. Stella.
We missed the group picture! Oh no! Look over here. Stella and Stella are late.
Well, it turns out we didn't miss anything. We were 4 minutes late, but still made it into the picture.
Vlog in progress.
This uninhabited island really is as tiny as it gets. One could easily walk through it in half an hour. But we didn't expect what we keep finding as we walked.
Unique toilet sighting on Mystery Island. Wow, look, there's a toilet that looks like this. I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna... Oh, wow. All right, let's do a tour of the toilet. I don't understand. What? Huh? Oh my God, this is not... I don't understand. Do you understand?
Do you need to climb up there?
I know. Do we climb up here and then pee inside? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. All right, from ship to toilet. And then another toilet. We are on a scavenger hunt of toilets.
Well, that was pretty much the highlight of this island, unless you swim, snorkel, or do acro yoga by the beach. Beautiful, but it also shows the reality of cruise travel.
Can we say that we have been to Vanuatu, which has many more bigger islands? I guess we can, but no, we haven't actually been to the real Vanuatu. And that is one thing about cruise traveling is you get very limited amount of time to experience small little things, and then you have to get back on the boat.
Before we left, we were surprised to find no other than an airport at this tiny little island with 0 full-time residents.
We have this building or little hut that says Mystery Island Airport. So fly from here, run here. Ooh.
And before we knew it, our month-long cruise across the Pacific Ocean is coming to an end. As we were about to arrive in Sydney, Australia, our final destination, the crew members surprised us with a spectacular show, the kind that no one expected.
Our ship has turned into a zoo. It's such a surprise because, wow, These things, whatever it's called, towel art, is top notch. We have a ship full of artist crew members.
Speaking of crew members, they were literally the best thing about the cruise. They're so friendly and helpful at all times. I even have a favorite. Meet Katino, my favorite breakfast waiter.
Hi, hello.
Katino, my favorite waiter.
Sheila here. Sheila doesn't want to go.
No, I don't. But
She won't stay.
no, because of you. Because you always ask why I'm not on vacation. So maybe I'll be on vacation again.
Again.
Bye.
To celebrate 10 years of Nomad Cruise and our grand arrival to Sydney, our conference put on a talent show that's surprisingly high quality and a little naughty. Just when I thought our crew members are only super talented with their hands, judging from the extremely intricate towel art exhibition they put together in one night, I was proven wrong again. They're just as talented in singing because they also put together a farewell show for us. The next morning, we arrived in Sydney, Australia, after 27 days at sea, across the entire Pacific Ocean. It was one of the dreamiest memories of my life. Final day of the cruise. We have arrived in Sydney with Jackie, my favorite dance partner. I must admit, I fell in love with cruising because of this cruise. There is something deeply pensive about traveling through the endless ocean. I'm eternally grateful for all the wonderful people I met on this journey and so happy to see that a new horizon has come into view. Stay tuned for more videos of my worldwide digital nomad journey as I build my business and make incredible memories along the way.